Hi!
Hiya!
So this week, a little bit different. Rick Graham is a guitarist on YouTube, and
Apparently, obviously you know, I don't.
Becky doesn't, but yeah. And he put a video talking about an injury he had. So, as a guitarist who suffered an injury when I was studying for guitar, and I now work in a chiropractor clinic, I thought this is a great chance to rope in an expert on the subject of bodies and stuff to talk about it. So this is Becky, she's a chiropractor, back to balance, very experienced. And yeah, so we're going to talk about it and give all you musicians some advice and yeah, just sort of the signs.
Exactly, and I know Faye, before she came to work with us as a front desk assistant, she told us her personal story, so I think you're going to share a little bit of your personal story about your experience with guitar playing and injuries and stuff like that.
Yeah, cool. So when I went to uni, so I played guitar before I went to uni for like many years, went to uni to study guitar further, and then in my first year it went a bit too hectic, played loads of guitar, ran around a lot of the time with sort of a guitar on my back for hours, a lot of walking, stuff like that. So eventually my body just kind of went, and it was as similar as we'd heard this, Rick's story, and we heard it and we said, classic.
Hear it all the time.
Yeah, again, similar thing. My shoulder started to go, a little bit of a problem. I went for a massage, kind of resolved the issue, but then it came back with a punch a couple of months later. And then I had a friend who was a semi-professional tennis player and told me about chiropractic. And then I found out that way, and I was quite fortunate because most people don't know about chiropractic until later on in their life. So yeah, and then I eventually moved and worked in a chiropractor's.
And now she gets complimentary chiropractic care all the time. Lucky of you. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to talk about potentially what's going on with Rick and his story about his arm and what might be going on. Obviously, we have to say at this point, we've never assessed him, so this is just our little ramblings and conversations from our expertise and from our experience. That we've been working on quite a few people with the same problem. Faye wanted us to do a little chat about it, and because she's really passionate, because she says to me all the time, she said, musicians don't really look after their bodies, for example, as much as they do with their instruments.
And like when I busted my shoulder, I looked for like advice and people to talk about the stuff, and there was very little. There is a charity related to MU that talk about it, but I think that's literally it. There's not much studying, and I found there's more to do with like dancers and stuff like that, as where
dance
music,
and sports,
dance and sport there is where music there isn't so much. So I thought we could talk about it and make some. So
definitely.
Here we go.
Do you want me to talk about like what I think might be going on with Rick's case? Okay. Rick's case is fairly typical. It will come and then it will go. You don't think anything of it. Gets better by itself after a day or two. It often gradually builds up, either over time, so your symptoms slowly develop, or you get this start, stop, and then one episode though. A really big one, right?
Yeah.
And that's then when we see people coming into the clinic. Unfortunately, and now you've seen it so many times with our clients, unfortunately, we always go, you should have or you could have come in a little sooner when you had the little niggles, but you don't think anything of it. So this is really typical. But I guess in Rick's case, what I'm thinking about, Faye, is there is a nerve that comes from the neck, as he was explaining, and it goes down the shoulder, through the elbow, through the wrist, into the hand. And so what could be going on is either a neck issue, an elbow issue, or a wrist issue, which is probably what the consultant is going to be checking out to see where the nerve might be pinched. But I tend to definitely find, even if it's pinched, and it's more likely to be around the elbow in Rick's case, there's often a little slight neck issue going on too. We call this a double crush, where there's two areas where the nerve is not happy and produces then some of these symptoms. So neck issues are quite common even in what we call peripheral or arm symptoms, and things like where, like Rick was saying, sleeping positions, but also like, I guess you guys, it's same with like violinists, but you know, you're going to be
It's
looking
like
down.
flat.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm thinking neck is definitely an area that I would be looking at, giving you some homework and some stretches.
Like as well.
It's very asymmetrical. Not only obviously is there some like RSIE with the elbow and the wrist, so it's definitely going to be causing Rick some issues, but it's also the neck as well. So that's why I'm thinking there could well be a double crush issue. So if you do get any treatment on the arm, Rick, I would definitely be suggesting also keep an eye on your neck too. Neck is very, very important. Get it checked out with a chiro or osteo. So lots of things can cause these things like posture. So poor posture at the desk, you know, when you're doing editing for anything, that's going to be poor posture at the desk. Playing the instrument, sleep position. We've done recently some videos, lots of them.
Playlists.
So we've done lots of those on sleep positions, and we tend to recommend side if you're really good, but mostly on your back. So check those things out, and we'll put the link as we said below. And also things like repetitive movements, like we've said, it's really one-sided. You know, like if I was the chiropractor, I'd be like, can you play sometimes on the other side? Now I know that's stupid, but that would ultimately help your body being a bit more symmetrical. I mean, tennis players, they often can't.
That's how I found out.
So they can't often do exactly the same on the other side. That's what I think is probably going on, and I think chiro or an osteo, you know, session in terms of consultation, examination, I'd really advise. And I think you also said to me, like, what would I give in terms of general advice?
Yeah, so this is really cool because like not many people in the industry talk about this kind of stuff. So this is a great chance for, you know, because I'm in the industry, so it's a great chance to get someone who's different to give like other musicians advice. So I had another friend, he had a bit of an issue with his wrist, and he said, oh, my wrist's a bit of an issue. It wasn't RSI, it wasn't like, and I just said to him, mate, just book him with a chiropractor, go in. He went in, a couple of sessions, great. And it was because he was like, his playing had gone up, and he was gigging, so he'd been lifting a lot of equipment.
Lifting. We didn't tackle that actually.
Yeah, I think with the industry, like with sport players, they either sport or not, and dancers, they're either dancing or not. But with a musician, it's rehearsing, practicing, and then you've got to lug your gear around, like hefty amps, pedal boards, you know, guitar on the back, pedal board full of metal in that side, pulling that out, and then the guitar on your shoulders. Posture's a nightmare, really.
Yeah, I mean, heavy lifting and posture is a big thing as well. We see it in lots of different industries, but I guess it doesn't be thought about necessarily with musicians, so that's a fair point. I think we're planning to do a video on how to lift properly as well, so check back on that as well, because that should be a good one. And again, we always tend to favour one side when we do the lifting. We don't always contract our core. I'm not saying musicians are unfit necessarily, but you know, it's not a typical occupation where, you know, you keep yourself like really strong and toned because you know, you just want to, you know, be good with you. Yeah, play guitar, dude. So so heavy lifting is definitely an issue which we didn't discuss either. So yeah, I think we'll do another video on that one. And I think I just want to say just a few things about my final tips and thoughts. Obviously trying to see a chiro or osteo, one, to get a proper assessment, especially from like a holistic health point of view, because we're not into sort of drugs and surgery, not that they don't have their place, but it'd be really great if we can get the body working without it, because I know some of the surgeries to release nerves, their healing time is a long time, like 6 months. You guys can't take that much time off with your rehearsing and your gigs and things. We here advocate a lot of like preventative and health sessions, rather than just wait until it comes back again, but actually to try and really be proactive in making sure that it doesn't come back again. Stretches, we've got a whole load of videos on our YouTube channel about stretches. I would definitely suggest doing some neck stretches. Go check the neck playlist, and possibly shoulder. We've done a shoulder playlist as well, so check some of those stretches out. We've done some videos, as I said, on sleep posture, so look at that, and check back about when we do a heavy lifting YouTube video as well. And I think our final thing is, it's like Rick's story is a very common story. We hear about it a lot in the clinic. Musicians need to be aware, you know, your body is one of your equipments. and you need to look after it. And we really suggest, like, think about spending money on your health.
Yeah, so...
Because you can't then play without your body.
Yeah, when I spoke to you about it, I said, you know, there's many people that I've known. When I had my injury, I was like, right, that's it. I worked, I saved up a lot of money because I was like, when I finish uni, I'm going to buy this amazing rig and it's going to be great. And then my shoulder busted and all of that money went on my healthcare. It was a lot of money for someone my age and being at uni. I'd pay it again.
I was going to say, you wouldn't change it.
I wouldn't change it. I would pay it again. My biggest expense, apart from my education at uni, right, but like my biggest expense is my healthcare.
Yeah.
Because without it, I can't play guitar.
Yeah.
And there's a few people I know who have chosen to continue to play guitar and it's only got worse. A friend of mine, he'd had a worse issue than me. It's still an issue now, as when mine isn't so much an issue.
We tend to just keep it at bay, so you can still do everything you want to do.
Everything I want to do.
That's our little thoughts is, Rick, think about chiro and osteo, can work really, really well. And don't let little things just pop up and go away and think that they're okay. You wouldn't do that necessarily with your tooth or something else.
Yeah.
So don't do it with your body. Think about investing. We call it an investment in your health. And whatever helps you, like, definitely keep it up. People stop their stretches and exercises when they feel better. People stop having their chiro or osteo or massages because it starts feeling better. Please be careful because that is sometimes the time where, you know, things will start cropping back up again.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Thank you so much, Becky. So kind of hijacked the channel, but this is I'm gonna we're gonna share it, and I think it's amazing that I've had this opportunity to share some advice with my fellow musicians, and thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to do this for us.
You're welcome.
Thank you very
Bye.
much. Bye, guys.